So right now we're looking at a dollar yen chart. And what you'll see here is that this 79.70 level, which is right around here, well, actually I would say 79.90, is 79.70, 79.90 is pretty much the former breakout, one of the former breakout points in dollar yen. And if I had added my double Bollinger Band, which is something that we use for our trading, you'll see that it is also, just give me 1 second to set up my double Bollinger Band. You'll see that it is also the first standard deviation Bollinger Band, which indicates that, it's a pretty important support level for dollar yen. So as long as the currency pair holds above that level, then the uptrend remains intact. And so that tells us that we could still have that move higher up towards 90 in dollar yen. So let me just refresh my chart for you. Okay, so right now you should see the dollar yen chart with a double Bollinger Band. The 79.90 level, which is where the first standard deviation Bollinger Band is a very important support level for the pair. So as long as it holds above this price point, then the uptrend's intact, and this is just a corrective move within a broader rally, and then we could have, a stronger move up to 90. Now, of course, if dollar yen breaks below this, then it would have been a failed false break, and then we could have a steeper slide back towards 78 and maybe even 77. But for the most part, this is a very, very significant break higher in dollar yen, the weekly cloud close, and it's so significant that even I, who hardly use Ichimoku cloud, cannot ignore this move that is happening. So with that, the other thing that I wanted to share with you is a little bit about what we do at in terms of shorter term trading strategies. Now let me just flip over to the Eurodollar chart. This year at BK, we have introduced something that is called our BK flow trade. And this is a short-term trading strategy that takes advantage of momentum moves in the Eurodollar. It's based upon the premise of targeting round numbers. And it's based upon the idea that round numbers are very significant to the markets, to traders, and whenever we get a nice little momentum move in the currency pair, there's a good chance it likes to aim for the round numbers. So what I'm going to do is let me just set up my Eurodollar chart. Just give me 1 second to do that, and I'll give you a gist of what this idea of this strategy is all about. So let me describe to you where this idea came from. I want you all to imagine, let me refresh my camera. I want you all to imagine that we're on a football field, and the goals on both sides are the round numbers. So let's say the left-hand goal post is maybe 133.00, and the right-hand goal post is maybe 134.00, and the halfway mark is 50. So the half of the whole, field is basically 50. So if you imagine that we, have the ball, and we're going from the right-hand side to the left-hand side. So let's say our player has the ball, they're going from right-hand side to left-hand side. They're going from the figure on the other side, they've got the ball, they're running, and they get to the 50 point. Once they get past the 50 point from the other side, and they go 50, 40, 30 towards 133, there's a very good chance that, since they had so much momentum to get from 134, the goal and all the other side, and they pass the 50 mark, then there's a very good chance that they're going to make it to the goal post on the other side, which is the 133.00. And this is what we're trying to basically capitalize on. That's an example of, a move from 134 down to 133. On the flip side, let's imagine that we're in the left side goalpost. So we're at 133 and we're running with the ball and we're getting to 133.50. Once we get past 133.50, we get to 133.60, 70, 80, there's a good chance that we can hit the goal on the other side at 134. So this is the kind of thing that we're trying to basically trade, which is that people, as human beings, think in round numbers. So that's also where a lot of orders sit. And so a lot of people will try to target the round numbers. Now, we've done a lot of refinement work. We don't go for the full 00, but that's kind of the basic premise of what we do with our flow trades, which is that we're trading momentum and we're basically trying to target the round numbers. So I'm going to minimize my hot time screen, so I won't be able to see your questions, but I will be showing you my chart. Okay, so I want to show you basically some of the flow trades that we did last week. So the most recent flow trade that we did last week was actually what we had on Friday. Let me scroll over to Friday. Okay, so let me refresh my screen so you can see properly. Alright, can you see my screen? Alright. So right now you should see my screen. So this is an example. It doesn't matter what chart you use. It's just a 5-minute chart allows us to have good illustration purposes. So this is an example of a trade where we're coming from 133 and you see that the currency pair is basically trading at 133, and this trade you'll have to nurse for a little while. I'm going to show you 133.50. The way this trade works is that we're going long at 133.50. And you can see that this move gets as high as, well, it gets much higher. It gets, it becomes a really strong move that keeps on going. But you can see that we've got 133, and the currency pair has enough momentum to go from 133 up to 133.50. And so you lay your limit order to go long there, and it takes some time, but it eventually hits the other round number on the other side, 134. And this strategy, there's a lot of derivations of it that we do at BK, but it's just based on the whole premise that if we have enough momentum, there's a couple of rules that we have here. We only trade the strategy between 4 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern time, and we're only looking for setups during that time. It's okay if we have the strategy trigger during that time, but we don't necessarily close it during that time. But we'll lay on trades between 4 to 12, and then we'll put on trades at 133.50, and we'll nurse the trade until it gets to, we don't go all the way to 134, but we do go, close at level, because sometimes there's a lot of orders at 134. So what we'll do is we'll, take off our position, slightly before that.